Hi, Brian. Hello, everybody, and Clubhouse and other channels. Good morning. Dr. Rao here. I'm glad you're here. And we are starting a new topic as of today. Um, I thought I will show people what I intend to really bring it to the um, our floors and involve everybody what they think about this, what they want to contribute to this. This is about we all strive for the fulfillment, right? So, what kind of fulfillment we are talking about? That's what I wanted to talk about. What does it mean? And do you have something to are aiming for, or is it same for everybody, or is it different for everybody, or how does that work, and how does that really help us to um, formulate our life and all that? You know what I'm talking about. So, so let's focus on what is fulfillment uh, and what is conventionally known in societies, either modern or ancient, and what is the essence of it? So I would have much more deeper depth of about fulfillment as I understood, as I learned from the ancient wisdom, and the details of it tonight in my regular room at 6 o'clock, right? But this is like a more like a preliminary and inviting people to come and explore with me what is their take. What does it mean? Do people really look for fulfillment or just go by with whatever comes in life, which is not a bad idea, but they may not have something like a grand goal and achieve that, but some people may not. But fulfillment as a human being is different than fulfillment as a doctor, as a sculptor, as a painter, as a musician. It differs, right? It does differ a lot. So, what is the fulfillment of a human being, and how is it done, and what were the things described in ancient societies and in modern societies, and uh, how you go about it. Then if you achieve the fulfillment, then what? These are the other questions that I have. I thought I would share whatever that not really conclusions, but more like a understanding. It could change, the understanding could change later on. But like I was in the youth, I wanted to earn a livelihood for myself. I didn't want to depend on anybody. And also, I wanted to make a difference as a physician. Those were the dreams, like, right? And then once you got entrance into the medical school and you become a medical student, and then you continue to uh, learn the skill of being a doctor, then you are completely immersed in it. And then you discover there is no complete fulfillment as a physician, because you got to read continuously, and you got to really be in that continuous medical education, which is kind of nice. I kind of enjoy learning new things, but some people may not. They may want to stop at certain time, and then they want to enjoy their life. So each has their own, right. Then when you become a physician practicing, then the fundamental questions of life come to you, because people are really expiring in front of you, and you feel helpless to save them. And so you may have read some things, but you don't have the healing power or bring somebody back to life, right? So there's a lot of questions come up too. So it is a our the goal is ever going beyond you. Then you get into all sorts of philosophies, religious philosophies, or otherwise, educators and all that, right? Then you may look at this question very differently too. So it's a very intriguing topic, very interesting topic, very varied for everybody. I want to share with all of you not with the spirit of what is fulfillment for me is the only goal, but rather what is your take on it, your own, own setup and striving after it. What are your victories? What are your still realizing probably victories down the line? So that kind of thing. So it's more like a preparation for tonight's room rather than this is going to be a complete room in the sense. I'm trying to introducing what I intend to do and what things I want to bring to the room so that I can explore them and maybe people will catch up quicker so that they understand what is that fulfillment for me, how is to be achieved, and what types of fulfillment are there, how do I choose my own fulfillment if I have one for myself driven from within, like somebody who is a musician. He wants to do the best musical work and he wants to create from within and he wants to go to the peak, right? But then he will find that music could be like a sea, and then he will be creating things that are really good for him, but then they will not measure up to anything in the real world. But he is satisfied. Is that enough fulfillment, or does he want to reach many people and get name and fame and wealth, and those are important for him, and then at the end of it he will say there's nothing after they got it. So yeah, I think it goes through every facets of life, right? um, uh, what it is when I went through this exercise, when I put some framework, the life was orderly and the life was more like service to the patient. That's a good goal for us. And enjoying while you are providing care. Okay, get up in the morning, get ready, and go to the hospital and go to the bedside of the patient and find out what's going on with him, what is bothering him, and then finding the solution, and then providing that suppose he's in pain, giving some pain medication, or suppose he is have problem with constipation, giving him something so that you have the bowel movement, this kind of thing, right? Every act you take it, if you take it more like a service, I had more enjoyment of what I'm doing, and also I felt fulfilled because I was needed and I was able to be there and all. But then that also becomes a part of your routine. I say that's why I'm this. I want to do this really for this patient. That's why I'm doing it. Suppose my students they came this morning and I was doing yoga with them, and then one girl said that she is better with her tiredness after doing yoga because she was getting very tired lately. So she had an infection, she was recovered from it. So I told her to slow down, but also improve the breathing and all that. And that is fulfilling because you are there for the needs of others. That's not really the thing for everybody. They want to fulfill their own egoic nature, and that is also there. And they have to go through it before they realize that may not be it for them. They may see something different, or they may not. So this is an intriguing topic for everybody. If they take it on their own, what is it that I'm really talking about? So anybody has any questions or any comments on this, please come up and we'll talk about it. I think there are people on the And oh, Daryl is there, and Janelle, Brian, and Gagna. Okay, light. Okay. Yeah, I think that is the topic I'm going to be talking tonight. And I think it will be more like describing my journey and where I was going with it, and also um, what kind of sharings that I say may rhyme with somebody or may open their eyes, um, uh, may suggest some things to think about. Maybe they have already established some goals for their fulfillment, and they can share that. They can share their way of doing it. And I don't think I need to bring any particular way is the right way. That's not the idea. The idea is to just to share. Everybody has goes through this, and then what was written, I can tell you. What was conveyed in the ancient systems, I can tell you. And I learned a lot from that, and that seemed very apt, that means suitable to the situation I was in, and relieved me out of that situation. So there are, I'll give a brief introduction, but I'll go more details of this tonight. Okay. In ancient systems, there are what called Purushartha, four Purusharthas. That means Purusha means man, Purushartha means fulfilling things for them, for four. The four, they talk about, you know, making money, making a livelihood, making improvement on your knowledge, anything that you want to acquire or earn, it could be money, it could be knowledge, it could be relationships, it could be followers, whatever, right? And that is what you are striving for. You wake up in the morning, you say, I'm going to get 10 followers today. And that may be okay for you, and that is what you want to do. No judgment there. Okay, just your goal, right? So that is one type, right? The second type is I want to enjoy myself. I want to please myself. I want to do some things that will really help me to feel good. To many things we do like that, right? We get up and say, "Well, I'm going to go to a movie." There are days when I used to go to these early morning shows in India, and the compulsion just go and see this movie first time, first day I get to go. That kind of craze was there. But then it's gone quickly after that. So looking for pleasure. It could be a relationship, it could be doing something, it could be playing something, or just sitting in front of the TV and enjoying yourself. All that comes into the seeking the pleasure, right? But they advise it's better you do the activity of earning or making money or whatever, and pleasing yourself, that is seeking the pleasure. They should be done in the right way. Otherwise life will come back and get you. When you want to earn money in a lawful, good way, right? Not cheating people and all of that. That's the third way. So whatever you do, it has to be done in the right way, according to the universal laws, where you speak the truth, you don't steal, that kind of thing. We'll go more details later. So three things. One is acquiring, second is looking for pleasure, third is doing in the right way. And the fourth one is the intriguing thing for me was, yeah, I kind of earned money, did my degree and earned money rightly, did practice correctly, charged patients correctly, and made money. But that money doesn't mean anything now. So what? And also, I pleased myself. I saw a number of movies, and they don't mean anything to me. So I think everybody comes to that at some stage. They may realize it later, but we don't have to judge anybody. But that is a state of affairs, right? Then you say, is there something beyond all this? Is there something that makes sense? that makes real. Say, I think one of the stars, she won Oscar at one time, and she was sitting in the room, and then all these people went and they were shooting photographs and interview her, and she didn't seem very pleased. I said, "Oh, what is the big deal? I won the award, but it doesn't feel like fulfilling. If I have a life, you have some happiness in there, then I'll feel fulfilled." That's what she thought. But then after the having kids, after having lived for so many years, people come to the same question, right? Not necessarily, but some people come basically. And when you question like that as early as possible, then you feel like, oh yeah, I am mm, really pursuing so many things and they are done. But then after that, I feel like uh, empty, meaningless, purposeless. When you are in the life, when you are young, when you are working, when you are having a relationship and all that, you may not have that. But the philosophers and the sages that look at the entire uh, rigmarole of the life, they may say there is something completely different for you. And so getting on that is they termed as realizing yourself, who you are. That was the ancient perspective, I'm telling you. So uh, the thing is, then you have grown up seeing, okay, if I have so much money or if I have so much pleasures around, I'm in Paris, I can be very happy. And then I will discover none of them give me that complete fulfillment feeling. Then I look for avenues where it's not out there, but within our four corners of our mind, inner races of our heart that is there. And then once we really remove the obstacles to it, it is like an unalloyed joy and happiness. This you cannot give to somebody, or you cannot tell them, oh, this is so. You got to feel it yourself. You got to discover yourself. That's the difficulty for a lot of people. And some other people may say, oh, follow this path and then you'll get it. But you may not be getting it. Then those people who are telling you may look like fools or guiding you in the wrong way without realizing it is your job to seek and find out within, right? So that's what the ancients did. That's why they were more simple outside, and then they were thinking deeply within. They're not just going by the flow and asking, oh, we all have to find it together. None of it. We can have camaraderie, we can have good feeling of friendship and all that. But then when it comes to seeking yourself, is a lonely affair. In the sense, lonely means not really cut off, but it's more like a alone. You get to do it. You get even a wife and husband also cannot do it together. They can support each other, but then everyone has to do by themselves. So that was the path that I was exploring. So that's what I was sharing all the time too. But each person comes to that, or maybe they have other things that they want to fulfill. For example, somebody, a musician like my son, he wants to experiment so many tunes, create so many tunes, and explore the field of music. And then he wants to be fulfilled that way. Fine, that's his goal. And then you cannot say, no, 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 turn back to yourself and discover yourself. He will come to that sooner or later. That's up to him. But then his own life takes its own turns. But you can tell them. But if they are explored and they also go in and find out for themselves, that's what we are hoping for. Okay, the same thing here. People may think this is serious or not serious, or they will say, what is this? What good is this for me? How much money is going to make that for me? That kind of thing, if it's there, this is not the place. This is only for reflective, self-reflective, serious minded people about this, not necessarily that they have to pursue this. They may not have the time or they may not have the energy for this too. That's okay too. But my duty is to present it and put it there and just to share and don't expect any results also. I don't expect anybody to change and do the way the ancients described. No, they don't need it and you don't need it too. But if you want to do it, it's up to you. You know, all I'm doing is sharing my experience and my way of looking that as really relieving the suffering. That's what I found out was I saw the physical suffering, mental suffering, spiritual suffering, so many ways. But there is a way where you can transcend this suffering. That means suffering will be there, but you won't be reacting to that as much as you were reacting before. After this knowledge, you will have transcended that suffering at least to some degree or to completely. It depends upon you, right? And not only that, but you can touch that unalloyed joy that is there within all of us. Unveiling that, that's what it is. Okay. So for me, that's the way to go about it. I'm still going about it and describing it to you. But what I will be doing with it and hashing, I don't know. It will be. But meanwhile, I am happy to come and share and come and give whatever is in my mind, and you know, not necessarily asking people to follow me. No, just explore that if you want to. Otherwise, fine, go your own way. That's fine too. So it's a question of, do we have any goal for fulfillment? Do we have anything beyond regular things? But you can be whatever you want. You can be making money only, or you can be uh, following pleasure, or you can be doing the right or wrong things, whatever. And you can be really investigating the meaning of life and going not according to one particular religion, but according to the truth. I think that kind of turning and inward seeking is something very, very valuable. That much I can say that, because it is uh, there is a heading today actually. The greatest fulfillment is always available, is right close to our heart. So that's a very important statement for me to tell you about how I feel about that. So, anybody wants to come up and share the wisdom app? Otherwise, we can meet tonight and discuss more deeply into this matter. And I'll be describing my take on how I came to the question, a lifelong journey. And it's still continuing on. So, where it will lead and all that, we'll wait and see. But meanwhile, the ordinary small things don't bother me. That's a good thing, I think. I do work better this way, and I relish the servicing anybody, either here or at the clinic or at the hospital or the research places, wherever I am, right? So that's a kind of privilege to be able to serve that way. So I work in a grateful, happy, and just contribute and be happy with that. So we will meet again tonight, and tonight we will talk about this in detail. Okay. Thank you.